You told yourself this time would be different. New goals, new habits, new motivation. And for a few days, maybe even a few weeks, you were locked in. You felt focused, clear, disciplined. You really believed you were finally changing. Then somehow, you disappeared from your own goals again. Now you're frustrated with yourself. You think maybe you're lazy. Maybe you just don't have discipline. Maybe something is wrong with you. But what if consistency was never your real problem? What if the real issue is something deeper, almost nobody talks about? Because the truth is, most people are trying to fix their habits without understanding the psychological patterns working against them every single day. And in this video, I want to break down the hidden reasons you can't stay consistent and how to finally stop sabotaging yourself. And if you're into self-improvement, mindset, manifestation, and becoming your best self, make sure to like, subscribe, and join the Innova Evolution Project. So let's get into it. The first hidden reason you can't stay consistent is that you're trying to force behaviors that don't match your identity. That's where most people struggle. They rely on motivation. And motivation feels powerful in the beginning. You get inspired, emotionally charged. You watch a few videos, write down your goals, maybe even tell yourself this is your turning point. But emotions fade. That's the problem. Most people build their habits around feelings instead of identity. And when the feeling disappears, the habit disappears with it. Your brain always wants to return to what feels familiar, even if those familiar habits are hurting you. That's why people stay stuck in cycles they hate. Because the mind prefers certainty over growth. Growth feels uncomfortable, unfamiliar, uncertain. So even when you consciously want success, part of you still identifies with distraction, procrastination, inconsistency, or survival mode. And that internal conflict keeps pulling you backwards. Because it's hard to become disciplined when deep down you still see yourself as someone who quits. That's why real consistency starts with identity, not motivation. And that leads into the next hidden reason nobody wants to admit. Most people are addicted to escape. The second thing becomes difficult, boring, repetitive, or uncertain. They run, not physically, mentally, emotionally, digitally. The moment discomfort appears, distraction becomes the escape route. That's why so many people constantly reach for social media, scrolling, entertainment, notifications, or anything that gives temporary relief. Modern distractions are designed to hijack your attention. And over time, your brain becomes trained to avoid discomfort instead of facing it. But real growth is repetitive. Real growth is uncomfortable. Some days you won't feel motivated. Some days the process will feel slow. Some days you won't see results immediately. That's normal. The problem is that most people think discomfort means something is wrong, so they stop. But consistency requires emotional control. It requires awareness. And it requires the ability to stay present even when things stop feeling exciting. Because most people don't quit because they can't do the work. They quit because they can't sit with discomfort long enough. And there's another layer to this that goes even deeper. Most people keep restarting instead of rebuilding. Every time they mess up, they reset everything. They miss one day, and suddenly the whole week feels ruined. They fall off one time and convince themselves they failed completely. That all-or-nothing mindset destroys momentum. Because consistency is messy. Real growth looks imperfect. There are going to be bad days, off days, distracted days, and emotionally draining days. That doesn't mean you failed. The real skill is learning how to return, to reset, to continue. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about refusing to disappear every time things go wrong. The strongest people aren't the ones who never fall off. They're the ones who stop turning one bad day into a bad month. That's what builds resilience, not perfection, recovery. And this final reason might be the biggest one of all. Your environment is training you to fail. Your surroundings shape your behavior more than motivation does. If your environment is filled with distractions, your focus will suffer. If your mind is constantly consumed by negativity, your energy will suffer. Your habits follow your surroundings. And that includes your digital environment too. What you watch, what you consume, who you follow, what energy surrounds you every day. All of it affects your mindset more than you realize. Your focus is under attack daily. That's why consistency requires intentional living. You have to protect your attention, protect your energy, protect your mind, because you can't build a better life while constantly feeding the mindset that destroys it. So if you've been struggling to stay consistent, maybe it's not because you're weak. Maybe you've just been fighting invisible battles nobody taught you how to recognize. Consistency isn't about becoming a perfect robot. It's about becoming aware of the patterns, distractions, fears, and identities that keep pulling you backwards. And the moment you stop seeing yourself as broken, you finally permit yourself to evolve. If this video helped you see yourself differently, make sure to like, subscribe, and join the Innova Evolution Project for more videos on discipline, mindset, manifestation, and becoming your best self. And if you're serious about resetting mentally and emotionally, so you can finally move forward with clarity and focus, download my free guide below called the Emotional Reset and Manifestation Guide. The link is in the description. You don't need a new life overnight. You just need to stop abandoning yourself every time growth gets uncomfortable. Again, this is the Innova Evolution Project, and let's continue to evolve.